Let's hook together today the pattern of spring flowers blooming pink blankets. 3 through this branch. We can master. Crochet method of lock needle. Adjust the short needle of a thread on the outside of the locking needle. Crochet method. Crochet method of short needle. From the previous line. Short needle crochet method for picking needles. Long needle crochet method for picking needles from the previous row. Crochet method of long needle. Long needle 5 needles. Crochet method of popcorn needle. First take the thread. After picking up the braided thread, aim the palm of your left hand at our big face. Put the braid in the little finger, and the seam between the ring finger. Circle from front to back, then the seam between the middle and index fingers. Around from front to back. Around from back to front. Homeopathically pass it between the middle finger and the thumb and pinch the tail line. Just leave a length of 3 to 5 centimeters. Then take the crochet. The hook of the crochet is aimed at our big face, and then we start locking needles. A total of 23 lock pins. First look at the crochet method of the lock needle. Place the crochet behind the braided thread. Crochet from back to front. Then it is pulled forward from the back of the braided thread. There's a coil on the crochet. Then we pinch with the middle finger and thumb, the part where the coils intersect. Then crochet with thread. Hook the coil on the crochet. We hook the first lock pin. You can see the hooked lock needle. It's in the shape of a little braid. Don't pull the hooked lock needle too tightly. At the same time, ensure the tightness of the crochet upper ring is always uniform. Keep your hands as loose as possible when hooking the blanket. The coil on the crochet is also as loose as possible. The hooked blanket will be softer this way. Then we use the same method. Continue to hook 22 lock pins. "23 lock pins and we're done. Then we are in. Hang a marking buckle on the first lock pin. The lower left corner of the front of the branch like this. We put a marker buckle on it, and then we tick the first line. The first row consists of 2 lock pins and 22 short needles. First, let's hook the upright pins of the 2 lock pins. And then we put a marker on the second lock pin. Mark the position of the starting needle in the first row, and then we rewind the 22nd lock of the needle. On the 22nd lock needle, we hook a short needle. Then we need to call up a thread on the outside of the lock pin. Hook short needle. In the middle of the lock pin, pick up a thread above the lock needle and enter the needle. Then crochet with thread to hook out. There are 2 coils on the crochet after it is hooked. Then crochet with thread. Hook out the 2 coils on the crochet. We hook the first short needle. Then on each lock pin in the back, all bamboo needles crochet a short needle. A total of 22 short needles are hooked. The 22 short needles in the first line are hooked. Then we move the branching from right to left, flip over, turn to the reverse side of the branch. Hook the second line from the reverse side of the branch. All fronts are singular lines. All tails are even numbered lines. All reverse even lines are. Hook a lock pin's upright needle and 22 short needles. And then we tick the second line. The second line hooks a lock needle and 22 short needles. First hook a lock needle and a standing needle. Then hang the marked buckle on the lock pin upright pin. Then we are at the position of the second needle. Pick the needle from the previous row. Hook short needle. Insert the crochet from the left side of the stitch. Adjust both sides of the needle while inserting the needle. Then crochet a short needle with a wire hook. There are 2 coils on the crochet. Crochet 2 coils on the crochet. This is picking the needle from the reverse side of the knitting sheet from the top row. Knitting method of hook short needle. Use the same method to insert a bamboo needle into the needle. Crochet short stitch. Line 2 has a total of 22 short stitches. Mark the position of the buckle with a needle. Line to crochet from the reverse side of the fabric, just a short needle. Next, from line 4 to line 18, all crocheted even numbered lines. It's on the reverse side of the fabric. Use the same method. Hook a lock needle and 20 to short needles. Turn the branch from right to left, then start taking the third line on the front of the branch. The third row hooks the upright pins of the 3 locking pins. For long needles, a long needle, 5-pin popcorn needle, 3 long needles, a long needle, 5-pin popcorn needle, 3 long needles and 1 long needle, 5-pin popcorn needle, 3 long needles and 1 long needle, 5-pin popcorn needle, 5 more long needles to hook the third line. First, let's hook the upright pins of the 3 lock pins. Then hang the marking buckle on the third lock pin. And then at each stitch, we crochet with bamboo. First hook for long needles. Let's take a look at this front. From the previous line, knitting method of picking and crocheting long needles. First crochet with thread. There's a coil on the crochet. Then insert the needle on the left side of the needle. Insert the needle and adjust both sides of the needle at the same time. Then crochet with thread. Tick. At this time, there are a total of 3 coils on the crochet. Then, crochet with line hook the first 2 coils on the crochet. And then, crochet with line hook the last 2 coils on the crochet. So we insert the needle from the previous row. The needle is hooked a long needle, then crochet the long needle again in the same way. A total of 4 long needles are hooked. Crochet with thread. Needle insertion. Crochet with thread hook out. Crochet with wire to hook out the first 2 coils on the crochet. Crochet with thread hook out the last 2 coils on the crochet. For long needles are done. Then in the next stitch, let's hook a long needle, 5-pin popcorn needle. Crochet with thread. Like a needle. Crochet with thread hook out. Crochet with thread. Hook out the first 2 coils of crochet. Crochet with line hook out the back 2 coils on the crochet. Hook the first long needle. Then use the same method in the same needle mesh. Hook for more long needles. We're going to be in this needle. A total of 5 long needles are hooked. We'll hook it in a needle, 12-3 for 5 long needles. Then we lengthen the coil of the 5th long needle, take out the crochet. Then again, the first long needle of the 5 long needles hooked, insert the needle and pick up the 2 edges of the needle. And then, put the coil on the crochet. Then the coil is hooked from the first stitch. After checking it out, we hook a lock pin. So we hook a long needle, 5-pin popcorn needle. A stitch like this, it's on a flat patch, a 3-dimensional flower shape. And this is the lock pin we just ticked. Popcorn needle, the needle on the top of his head. The front is the rising needle of a lock needle hooked. Then for short needles. Then the popcorn needles. This is what happens to the needle arrangement. And we'll do it the same way. Forward bamboo needle crochet. Hook 3 long needles. After hooking 3 long needles, and then we move on to the next stitch. Use the same method. Hook the same long needle, 5-pin popcorn needle. First hook 5 long needles in the same stitch. After the 5 long needles are hooked, also insert the needle at the first long needle mesh position. Pick up both sides of the needle. Then the coil on the 5th pin is hooked out. Crochet with thread hook 1 auxiliary needle. Just hook another long popcorn needle. Then hook 3 long needles. Then hook a long 5-pin popcorn needle. Then hook 3 long needles. Hook another popcorn needle with 5 long needles. Then the bamboo needle crochets 5 long needles. The 3rd line is ticked, then we tick the 4th line. The 4th line hooks a lock needle and 20 to short needles. We flip the fabric from right to left, then crochet from the reverse side of the weave. Hook a lock pin's upright needle first. Hang a mark buckle on the lock pin. Then bamboo needles crochet short needles. A total of 20 to short needles are hooked. We will hook the 20 to short needles in the 4th line. Then, we flip the producer from right to left, on the front of the production. Then we tick the 5th line.